everyone, I hope you're well and welcome to my channel. I'd like to quickly say a few things about Labour. So first of all, I'd like to say is that when Labour came into power, I don't know if you remember, Keir Starmer actually admitted that he only got 20% of the vote. 20% of the vote isn't actually a lot when you think about all the people that are in this country, right? So 20% of the vote isn't really that much. If you know, okay, obviously people do know that you're gonna get the people who don't vote, then you're gonna get the people who are voting somewhere else, then you've got the people who voted in for Labour. So this is where all this, and then you're gonna get the people who don't vote at all. I've actually heard someone say that they don't vote because the MPs are selected and not elected. Listen, if you've got to understand something, the MPs, right, do not get selected, they are elected. If they're not elected and they're just going to be selected, then what's the point of us voting? Why do they want our votes if they're not going to be elected and they're going to be selected? So if it's going to be Parliament who chooses who is going into power next, right? And they all have to vote amongst themselves, then we have no reason to vote. The vote wouldn't have to be there, right? Why would they make millions of people vote and we have no say? It would be pointless, right? To be sending out all the papers that they send out to get you to vote, to fill in, right? If they are selected and not elected. So that actually makes no sense. But you've got to remember, you're going to have people like this in the world who actually think, oh, you know, what am I voting for? Why am I going to vote when nothing's going to change? No, if you don't vote, nothing's going to change, right? Now, you have someone like Keir Starmer in power at the moment. Many of the people who probably voted Keir Starmer are probably really regretting it after everything that he's done since he's been into power. Listen, although we have all the boats coming in, right, the boats were coming in already under the Tories. But Labour is kind of the Tories, just under a different name, right? So you may see the same brand, but you'll see different names under that brand. This is a bit like Tories and Labour. They are very similar, just two different names, but they do the exact same thing. They will talk. There'll be no action. Tories were doing the same, saying they were going to stop the boats. They didn't stop the boats. They did actually was putting this Rwanda thing into action. Then Labour stopped it. But would Tories even have gone ahead with the Rwanda deal or whatever they were planning to do, sending them to Rwanda, all the illegal migrants? That was their plan, right? Were they going to carry it through? Nobody knows. So, you know, at the end of the day, I wouldn't have put my dollars on it, that's for sure, because I know that I will end up losing it all. So I wouldn't have betted on it, you know, but there you go. We would only have to believe that they were going to do it. But, you know, can you have any reassurance? No, absolutely not. Because you know that Tories and the Labour have always been liars. They will lie, just to get you to vote for them, right? Just like Keir Starmer did say, I heard him himself, that the winter fuel allowance was not going to be taken away from the pensioners. And that's exactly what he did when he got into power, saying that there was the black hole, and that's the reason why he was able to pay them. This black hole that he is creating even deeper, right, with all of his spending, right, that he's still doing now, right, still wanting to give away £20 million to Gaza as well for wanting to rebuild Gaza out of taxpayers' money. Yes, he will borrow that money, but then it's the taxpayers who pay it back. That's why our taxes keep going up, right? They don't give a shit. They're not paying back anything from their wages or anything like that. They're not paying for, you know, all the things that they're saying that they're going to be doing, it doesn't come out of their money, it doesn't come out of their expenses. They don't lose nothing, right? But they'll just keep spending, and it's the taxpayers' money that goes up and goes up and goes up, right? And it doesn't matter, you know, what you think of Steinmeier. At the end of the day, Steinmeier is not for the people. He's not for the people, never will be for the people. And at the end of the day, yeah, he's not for the working class. If he was for the working class, he would listen to his people. He doesn't listen to his people. He doesn't care what we think, right? If he cared what we think, do you think that the boats would still be coming in by the thousands? Do you think they would be coming in? Do you think that we would have all these people who are being attacked left, right and centre? Look what's happened at the the Bell Hotel in Epping, right? A woman and a child got raped by one of the migrants, yeah? And that's just one person, right? There's probably loads more, right? And a few murders that are along the line as well. You know, someone that I spoke about yesterday, you know. And this is what I'm saying. You know, if he cared about his people on the streets and knowing that we're safe, he would, these boats wouldn't be coming in, you know. And that's all been by the taxpayers' money as well, you know. So, yeah, as I was saying, they are definitely elected, not selected. So people need to vote. If you don't want these people in, you need to vote. You need to vote, you know, in order to get them out. You know, otherwise we're just stuck in the same old rut over and over and over again, you know. We'll be stuck under Labour or be stuck under the Tories. We need to get rid of them altogether. We need a brand new party who wants to show that they care for their country, who's showing the people that, you know, they're putting the British people first. You know, our taxpayers' money should go to the British. It should not go out to foreign aid here, left, right and centre, right? We need to build Britain. We need to build Britain. Britain is becoming a complete and utter mess because of under the Tories, under Labour now. We're just becoming an utter mess. There is so much in Britain that needs to be fixed. And, you know, the NHS needs to be fixed. People can't even get dentists under the NHS anymore. You know, people are complaining about everything that's going on in this country. They're oblivious to it. They don't even care. Keir Starmer did actually say before he got into power that that was another thing he was going to do. Make sure that people can get NHS dentists, and still nothing. You know, I hear it all the time. I can't get on the NHS dentist. I can't get on the NHS dentist. And what is he doing? Nothing. Nothing to sort out the situation. So at the end of the day, you know, we need to vote. We need to vote. Get these people out. We need to vote. We need someone new. We need fresh voices with people that are going to listen to the people and the People's Party. Thank you. That's all from me today. Have a great day and bye-bye.